When Eric DeCosta took over as the Ravens general manager 3 years ago, he talked about improving the wide receiver position on this team. And part of the solution, he said, was just taking more receivers, taking more shots at that position in the draft. Well, he stayed true to his word. His first-round pick was Hollywood Brown. And over the past 3 years, he's taken 6 receivers in the draft. This year, he took Rashad Bateman in the first round and then followed that up in the 4th round with Tylan Wallace. And recently, Eric joined us for the latest episode of the Lounge Podcast, and he talked about the strategy behind restocking the receiver position.
Well, I want to be known as the GM that finally gets a good receiver in the draft, for the Ravens. I mean, it's kind of like Theo Epstein, who I really admire for his career. He went to Boston and won a World Series, and he went to Chicago, the Cubs, and he actually won a World Series. And no matter what he would ever do for the rest of his career, he's going to be the guy that brought a World Series title to Boston and the guy that brought a World Series title to Chicago. I want to be known as the GM who brought a drafted wide receiver to Baltimore. And I think we actually already have those guys on campus. But, in all seriousness, I think that's a position that's very hard to evaluate. It's a position that is intertwined with the quarterback and with the offensive coordinator and the skills of the other players. And the only way to really address that and find the right guys is to keep drafting guys that you like at that position. So that's what we've tried to do. We've tried to be aggressive and find guys that we like as players that have the skill set to really augment the club, that we think will gel with Lamar and the other wide receivers and just make us a better football team.
Now, DeCosta was really fantastic on the Lounge. He talked about a variety of topics, including the draft, Lamar Jackson, and how the Ravens plan to build this team moving forward. It was a really insightful conversation. I recommend that you check it out wherever you get your podcast. Just search Baltimore Ravens Podcast Network. That's it for me on Final Drive. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.